Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching on Tuesday the 6th of May. Now, just been looking through the long ranges again as part of getting back into the pattern of things and just trying to get a feel for the weather again, having been away for a couple of weeks. And I can see the reasons for us going for a better end to May. Certainly that's the way that patterns are shaping up with things just at the moment. Firstly though, let's just do a quick whiz through the next few days, just show you what's going on. This is the chart for Tuesday, and you see here, look how we've got this southwesterly flow through the country at the moment. It's bringing some showers that will develop this afternoon, some pretty heavy ones to fancy across Ireland, across England and also across Wales, but it's this feature out towards the west that really is what we've got our eye on just at the moment, because that brings some outbreaks of raining during the course of the night. Now for tomorrow, for Wednesday, it looks to be a bit of a messy day. Got low pressure that's centred here towards the west of Scotland. This drives rainfall eastwards. I think the most persistent rain across Ireland, northwest England into western parts of Scotland during the course of Wednesday. Some of it could be quite heavy at times, especially over high ground. I think elsewhere, generally just lots of cloud around, one or two bits of rain in the wind, and a tendency, I guess, for a little bit of brighter weather to move in later, but generally it's a breezy, cloudier, fairly cool day in that wind through Wednesday, with most of any rain always tending to be through more northern parts of the country. Excuse me. Then on Thursday, we've got fronts tracking their way eastwards during the course of Thursday, some of them quite heavy. Some outbreaks of quite heavy rain associated with those fronts, particularly across Wales and southern England. Bit of a question mark really as to how much rain there will be, probably looking about 3 to 5 millimetres from that for most. And I think across Scotland, because of this feature you see here, probably not so much in the way of rain there, just cloud on one or two spots, but generally much of Scotland tending to stay on the drier but cloudier side. Then for Friday, low pressure still towards the north, I think more unsettled through Friday. Showers driving their way eastward, some pretty heavy ones around at times. Still unclear as to exactly where the heaviest ones of them will be, and it's probably a breezy day Friday too. And then for Saturday, low pressure moving in, more active fronts sweeping eastwards and northwards through the country, taking heavy rain and some strong winds with them, followed by showers. But again, as this back bent occlusion you can see here sweeps eastwards during the course of Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening through England and Wales, it brings a return to more persistent rain. Scotland always tending to stay fairly cloudy and pretty damp right the way through the day on Saturday. And then for Sunday, the low clears off towards the northeast. We get a west to northwesterly flow coming down through the country. Rain across northern and western parts of the country. Just outbreaks of rain rather than anything persistent. The least of the rain across eastern and central areas, but there could still be some around. And a fairly breezy day. Generally the weekend looking rather cloudy and rather damp for many. Now, let's just think about a longer range. Remember me saying at the beginning of this, I was just trying to get under the skin of where things are going just at the moment. And this chart from the UK Met Office long range forecast chart, this is the percentage probability of 500 millibar heights being above normal through May, June and July. I'll try and get a full summer forecast video out, by the way, pretty soon. But this is the May, June, July heights, and you see here that we're in this category of 40 to 60% chance of heights being above normal, with a 60 to 80% chance. That really is significant here across southeastern parts of England. So it really is going for it to say that the heights will be above normal. Chance of near normal heights, well, look how low those are. This is less than 20%. That's what the blue colours here are telling us, a less than 20% chance. And below normal heights showing at a 20 to 40% chance. So it is pretty heavily weighted in favour of above normal heights during the period of May, June and July. And interestingly, if we then take a look at this, the chart for the CFS for 200 millibar anomalies, this again is valid for May, June and July. And you see here, look, these orange colours showing us above normal heights at 200 millibars. So this is trying to indicate quite a big ridge in here, with pressure would be centred here somewhere, and we'd have a warm south or southeasterly flow with quite a deep trough in the Atlantic. So both these models trying to say, well, look, there is the chance that we could find higher pressure building in and going into quite a warm, dry and settled period through May, June and July. Remember, this is the average, so you know, it's just a mean. Things can change, but certainly that's what's being indicated at the moment. Now, my main concern is if this trough that's in the Atlantic here, so this is the trough line through here, should that be a little bit further eastward? So should that be in here, then it would be that the British Isles would go into very unsettled conditions. But at the moment, it looks as if, let's just zoom in on that a little bit, it looks as if the hints certainly are coming in favour of the drier conditions. So when do they start? When would dry conditions start? Well, this is the forecast from the CFS. Week 1, you have to turn your head around for these because they're upside down, but there's lower than normal heights towards the north, higher than normal towards the south, and we've got a west to southwesterly wind, quite an unsettled west to southwesterly flow through the country during this coming week. And this is pretty much the way it's going to be, particularly given things becoming more unsettled over the coming days. On to week 2, and again, low pressure out towards the east, or heights higher than normal heights down towards the south, and again it's hinting here that we stay with a southwesterly flow, quite a strong jet there, and unsettled conditions prevailing during week 2. It's week 3 that becomes interesting. This is 20th of May to the 26th of May, and what it's trying to show here is higher than normal heights towards the east of the country. So we'd have lower than normal heights down towards the south. Here's the trough, excuse me, in the Atlantic there, with this big ridge building in, excuse me, across Europe, bringing in dry, fine and probably fairly warm conditions. And if we then look at week 4 from the CFS, there's our trough in the Atlantic, look. There's our ridge across Europe, and an omega-shaped ridge as well. And the flow around that would be something like that, bringing in a south or southeasterly flow through the country and maintaining warm conditions into the early part of June. Now, if we look at the Japanese and just see what they're going with, their ideas are very similar. This is the forecast for week 1. So this is bringing us up to the 8th of May. And these are the 500 millibar heights, showing above normal heights here, look, across much of the south of the country. If we go into week 2, then it picks up nicely on the trough. So this is the period running through from the 9th through to the 16th of the month. There's our trough look in the Atlantic. More unsettled conditions through the UK, but above normal heights towards the south and the east of the country, but this southwesterly flow. So again, trying to hint there at more unsettled conditions in the middle of the month. And then days 17 to 30. So this is taking us on from the 17th of May onwards. And of course, Europe's split here, look, because of the Greenwich Meridian down here. But you notice there, look, the yellow colours across the UK extending out. Look, we have to flip over the other side of the page, but this is Europe here, look. So showing higher than normal heights in here towards the end of the month. So we've got this very, very strong signal coming in of higher than normal heights building through the end of May. Now, I think it might be a bit hit and miss to get there. I can't see it being that clean that we just go into, after an unsettled spell of weather, that around the 18th, 19th, we see this pressure build, and then it stays like that right through. But there are these very strong signals that something is developing here, that high pressure is going to try and get back in, and it's going to block things out. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on this and say that this isn't a forecast as such. I think there's a lot to play for at the moment in the way this shapes up. So, but I do think that high pressure is going to be the dominant feature across Europe, certainly during this early part of the summer. But we need to watch it very closely as to how it develops across the British Isles. And the main reason for that is the proximity of this trough out in the Atlantic to the British Isles. Yes, it all looks very nice on there with the ridge through here, look, and the trough out here. But if that is further east, or another possibility is actually that the high develops down to the south, the low gets into the southeast, so the trough is actually further south in the flow here, and the highs further north. What that could do is bring some rain across southern areas. So at the moment, the actual forecast itself is very loose, but the idea of the high building in is one that is starting to build significantly with confidence. So I'm going to leave you with that for now, but I just wanted to bring you up to date on where we were with things. Don't forget that weatherweb.net is kept free of charge by you keep on coming back and using the site, and by using the adverts and by looking through the adverts, etc. That's what generates the revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thank you for doing that. Please do tell your friends about us, spread the word, and whatever you're doing for now, have a great day and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.